Welcome to another episode produced by DarshanTalks and powered by the Kulkarni Law Firm. I'm your host, Darshan Kulkarni, and today we're diving into the hot topic in food advertising and labeling, the use of the word natural. Now, most of us would think that this has been firmly established, that we all know what the word natural means. Turns out, this term has been at the center of many debates and legal battles, and it's crucial for food companies to understand how to use this word properly to avoid misleading consumers and to avoid potential litigation. So let's understand the word natural. It's obviously used very commonly in food marketing, but what does it actually mean? Unlike the term organic, which is regulated by the USDA, natural does not actually have a clear, universally accepted definition. Although the FDA has not engaged in rulemaking to establish a formal definition for the term natural, they do actually have a longstanding policy concerning the use of the word natural in human food labeling. In November 1991, the FDA stated that the word natural is often used to convey that a food is composed only of substances that are not man-made and is therefore more wholesome. Obviously, that can be problematic, as you can see. They also said that they have not attempted to restrict the use of the term natural except for added color, synthetic substances, and flavors that are defined in a section. The definition of natural claims in FSIS's Food Standards and Labeling Policy Book states in relevant part, the term natural may be used on labeling for meat products and poultry products if the applicant for such labeling demonstrates either one of the following. Number one, the product does not contain any artificial flavor, flavoring, coloring ingredient, chemical preservative, or any other artificial or synthetic ingredient, and the product and its ingredients are not more than minimally processed. Now, the FDA continues to maintain its policy not to restrict the use of the term natural except for added color, synthetic substances, and flavors, and it also continues to maintain its policy to interpret the word natural, meaning that nothing artificial or synthetic, including all color additives regardless of source, have been included in or has been added to a food that would not normally be expected to be in the food. Basically, don't add stuff to it. That's the sort of general takeaway. Obviously, there's a more complex definition there. However, as you can tell, this policy was not intended to address food production methods, such as the use of pesticides, or explicitly address food processing or manufacturing methods, such as thermal technologies, pasteurization, or irradiation. The FDA also did not consider whether the term natural should describe any nutritional or other health benefit. Now, this is where the FDA stands, but obviously, as we said, courts and state laws are trying to cover this gap. They're trying to speak to the difference. And again, they're still working to address the term natural. The most recent case is Bustamante versus Kind LLC, where the court evaluated the use of the term natural in food labeling. The case hinged on whether all natural would deceive a reasonable consumer. There were testimonies from the plaintiffs that highlighted the varied and subjective nature of consumer expectations regarding natural products. So again, state laws go to consumer claims. They don't look at FDA claims. So that's a whole new level of analysis that must take place. So here's the question. How do consumers actually perceive the term natural, and what do they expect? This is currently being negotiated. It's trying to be understood. But that doesn't help companies who still need to be practical, that need to still continue operating. So how does a company manage to do this? Number one, avoid ambiguity and be transparent. Define clearly what the word natural means on your label. This could mean, in your case, that the product contains no artificial flavors, colors, or synthetic substances. On the other hand, you could actually explicitly state what natural excludes, such as GMOs or certain preservatives. There's also ingredient transparency. Provide detailed information about all the ingredients. This will help build consumer trust and reduce the risk of deception claims. Then, you want to align with the regulatory guidance. So while the FDA has not issued a formal definition, it generally suggests that the word natural means nothing artificial or synthetic has been included. So ensure that the use of the word natural aligns with this informal guidance. Make sure that your claims do not mislead consumers into believing that the product is healthier or safer purely based on that natural label. Then, make sure that you substantiate your claims with evidence. If you use the word natural to describe a product or ingredient, make sure you have the scientific evidence to back up that claim. This could include proper sourcing and processing methods that align with consumer expectation of quote-unquote naturalness. Now, if you're conducting consumer perception studies, ensure that the studies themselves are unbiased and accurately reflect consumer understanding without leading questions. Going back to those consumer expectations, regularly update your knowledge about consumer expectations and industry standards regarding natural claims. At the Kulkarni Law Firm, we can help you with this, so feel free to reach out. Consumer perceptions can continue to vary and evolve over time, and court expectations can also be a guiding factor. So stay informed about what this means, and we can help you adapt your labeling practices accordingly. Conversely, you might be able to educate consumers about what natural means in the context of your products. Now, you might put that on the website, and this can help align consumer expectations with your product descriptions. Again, as we discussed before, have your labels reviewed by legal experts regularly to ensure that they're in compliance with current laws and regulations. This can actually mean ensuring that they comply not just with FDA expectations, but state consumer protection laws, as these interpretations do vary by jurisdiction. Avoid broad and vague claims like 100% natural unless every aspect of the product can be substantiated as such. Be specific about which aspects are natural and why. Consider the overall context of the labeling and ensure that other statements do not contradict this natural claim. So obviously this is really complex, and to avoid challenges, food companies must use the term natural with precision and transparency. Make sure that you continue to review your own labeling practices and consult with legal experts to ensure that you comply with state laws and consumer protection standards. Thank you for tuning into this DarshanTalks production. Again, we're powered by the Kulkarni Law Firm, and if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, please reach out. Until then, stay compliant and stay informed.